All right. So today's topic is another it's another look at ourselves through a different window. So I'm kind of just presenting in my teaching views of ourselves through different windows because I've learned that if you keep presenting something, sometimes it'll really come home and resonate with somebody. And then when I present it through a different window, it really connects with the other person and so on. So our topic has to do with music, and it has to do with what our theme song is for our life. So music plays a really important role in uh, most of our lives. Actually, a huge role for a lot of us. Some people sing and stuff, but most of us always listen, and it captures the essence of pretty much any moment, good or bad, in our lives. It creates a moment for us. You know, we use music to create the emotion or the ambiance. We use music to set the mood, a slow mood, or even in meditation, we bring the music in because it resonates with our energy and our vibration and creates opening. And all music does that. All music resonates and vibrates and tones. And we can line up with that just like we line up with other people's emotions and moods. Um, it can speak for us. You know, songs can definitely speak for us. Things that we don't think we could ever say for ourselves, or we don't have the courage to say for ourselves, or the ability. So, you know, a fun thing to do is to sit and listen to music and play back through songs with a friend. I have a friend that on the very rare occasion, we'll get together and end up listening to music and end up, you know, listen to this song and listen to that song. And, you know, do you remember what you were doing? And I remember what I was doing. And you actually are carried away to those moments. And, you know, music is a magical transporter spaceship. You know, you play a song and you can immediately be back to that event and that experience when the song was playing, you know, your prom or, you know, date night or, you know, anything in your life. I remember I got my first car and uh, it had an 8-track player under the dash. And I had an 8-track Eagles, you know, and I would drive around in the summer and I'd be listening to, you know, Peaceful Easy Feeling, Desperado. You know, I still feel that singing out loud, cruising around. It takes you right back. You even smell, like you can smell the things that were there, the perfume or the food or whatever it was. Even if it's a symphony, you know, not necessarily, you know, a love song or rock music or, you know, even the hard times in life, even the challenging moments have music attached. You know, all of the wars, you know, Vietnam has a lot of music connected with it. Um, Teenage years, the angst of high school, you know, has a lot of music attached to it. So in looking at music and as it relates to our individual life, you know, we each, all of us like something different, probably a different style, or we're from a different era. But if you look at this, the songs that you choose as favorites, you know, and you, if you were to list them out and say, why is this my favorite? You know, what is it speaking to me? Or when I listen to this, you know, what am I feeling inside? And you know, we can do that through the years of our life, you know, and then currently, sometimes we keep some of the old songs, but we add new ones, and we add a new kind of music maybe. So if we look at the songs that we're in love with, or we look at the music style, that we're in love with, what is the music speaking about us? What is it speaking to us about our life and where we are in this moment? Is it a, are we singing the blues? Is it a theme of tragedy? Is it a theme of despair? Is it sex, drugs, and rock and roll? What is the music that we've chosen to steep ourselves in saying right now about us? Because the feeling that music evokes is what we connect with. Sometimes we're like, oh, I've had that experience, or I want to have that experience. But the feeling behind it is what we're falling in love with oftentimes. And oftentimes it's the music that carries the feeling for us, and not necessarily the words. So looking at our life through the window of the music that we choose, the music that we love, and why do we love it? Why do we love it? What does it make us feel like when we're listening to it? What are we thinking about when we're listening to it? And, what are we feeling when we put it on? Like, what are we wanting to receive from it? We start to see ourselves, see the conversations that are under the surface of our life. It's just another way to look at the conversation that's behind the scenes in our world. I love like a broad spectrum of music, but a lot of the things I really attach to are all kind of a similar theme. And so it tells a story about me. If I gave you my song list of 10 songs, you would probably have a pretty good idea about me, just based on the music and the songs that I've chosen. And we're all like that. So sitting down with a little scrutiny and looking at what you're listening to and why you're attracted to it. Or if we're just listening to it because it's there, because it's the trendy station, or the trendy thing that's the trendy artist that's out there right now. Sometimes we do that, but I've found in my life, and I love a lot of music. Sometimes the words are, we listen and we absorb the message, but we also absorb the words. And, sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm singing the words. And sometimes I don't want to be singing the words of whatever it is. But that's a demonstration that what we take in becomes our program. It becomes, the backdrop of our life. So if we're listening to some of the music out there, if you take the words, if you take the words and you just write them down like you're writing a paragraph, and you take away all the music and you read the words, do you still like it? Are you still comfortable with what you're reading and taking in? And is it in line with what you believe about yourself? Because it does make a difference. There's a lot of stuff out there that when you actually tune in is a little shocking. It's some stuff is really angry. And there's a whole hell of a lot of sex out there. And heaviness. So if we're listening to something and we're feeling heavy and we're drawn into it all the time, why is that? Like, that's the question. Just like, why are we drawn into love songs? What's it triggering in me? What aspect of me is turned on by that? And and then looking in that mirror, is that something that I want to keep and I want to build on, and I want to, start paying attention to, in my life. Um, Even classical, which doesn't have a lot of words or any words, it can be wildly symphony and it can be heavy, heavy and dark, like all music. So what we love to um, relax to and what we love to spend time with is a reflection. It's another mirror of who we are and how we are being. And if you are absorbing and listening and spending time with something and you feel joy and happiness, then yay. Because really, we want to be in joy in our lives. That's where we want to live. We want to live in the place of knowing and joy and love. And if anything in our life isn't bringing us, joy and happiness and love, then we need to take a look at it and take a look at why we're drawn into it and why it's still there. Why it's still there. Because as we begin to see and understand through a different avenue, the process of our thoughts, the process of our emotions, um, listening to what that is speaking to us, we can begin to elevate also our energy into a different place. You know, if we're, the blues are good. Some of the blues are a little heavy, a little sad, just like a lot of, there's sad songs and happy songs. The sad ones bring you down after a while. And if you're singing along repetitively day after day after day, that becomes your affirmation. It becomes your affirmation. It becomes the phrases that you are repeating over and over and over and over into your mind. That's how we learn stuff. So if I want to learn something, I'm going to repeat it over and over and over and over again, right? Until it's lodged in my mind. And then that becomes my response to life or my emotion or whatever. And I became more and more aware of this in the last, 10 years of my life. Before I used to think, whatever, but then I, like I said, I would wake up and I would be like, wow, that's, interesting, because I used to let people listen to whatever music they wanted when they came in. And sometimes I'd be like, whoa, that's nasty, or, that's not in line with where I am, or that's not something I want to be singing in my head over and over. So I kind of stopped that practice and I just would pick stuff, so it does make a difference. But what we're drawn into and what we spend time with, we're looking at ourselves. We're looking at ourselves on a different canvas. So if it's sad, heavy, and blue, try, happy, loving, because if you, I was driving home yesterday and I was feeling tired and I was about 20 minutes from here. And I thought, gosh, I need to find a song that's going to bring me home. It's going to bring me home. And so I started like flipping through my list, till I get to something happy, like that energy song I make us all dance to, right? Put that on, boy, your energy rises right up and you feel energized and happy, and keep going. It's like pouring water on yourself. So music is very powerful, and the music that we choose has an extremely powerful role in our life and the people around us. Somebody can go from singing, Tracy Chapman, Give Me One Reason to Stay Here, to, the person with them flips around and plays, Love Me Tender by Elvis. It can change everything in one song. I'm leaving to, I remember what I felt like when we used to dance to that song. I remember that. I want to come back to that. Music is powerful, super powerful in our lives. I memorize a lot of stuff with music because I can remember it. and and kids remember that way too. That's what marketing jingles are all about, right? It sticks in your ear. And like the Disney It's a Small World, like you're like, please make it stop. Make it go away. Day after day, it's a small world after all. You regret going there. So it's powerful. It's powerful. So looking at our lives through the music that we love, through the lyrics that are we're pouring into our mind and into our energy space, is a good way to look at where we are right now in the world, and see if it lines up with where you want to be. So unmute, please.
I'll wait to unmute. There's a little bit of background noise. Okay. You hear it? It's New York City for you.
Yeah, sounds like you're taking a shower.
It's the garbage truck. I'm on the terrace.
So do you guys get what I mean by that? I'm not saying you need to censor your music, or this is the music police, or like whatever went on in the 80s when all that was. I'm not saying that. Just like I don't care, about eating and drinking or anything else, right? But pay attention to what we're taking into this living essence of light and life.
Yeah, that's we're gonna start cataloging my music.
Well, then the music changes all the time, and a new song comes on, and it always seems to revolve.
Yeah. Yep.
It kind of makes me think of our bodies being kind of like an antenna, catching the signals that we subconsciously want versus the ones we really want.
Yeah.
And I think to Naj's point, it's like, sometimes you get up or you're going through your day and it's like, whatever you were listening to this morning, it's not really working for you anymore. And so you switch that frequency because you're like, you feel it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's exactly.
Music is an art form, right? If what you're listening to was a painting on your wall, would you want to look at it? It's kind of that.
About the music of nature.
I love the music of nature. And I like a lot of music without words too.
But music can be so self-selective. Like, so what do you do when you are in that kind of funk, you're in that stupor, and you like to put on It's a Small World After All? Like, what do you do? Like, do you just put on the happy music? Because I remember you saying, you like to put on the happy music, but does it work that efficiently if you're in a funk?
Yes. Yeah. Everything does. It's kind of like if you're sitting in the dark and you're like, oh, I don't even want to get up. If you get up and you open the blinds and the light floods in and you start moving around, you feel better. You feel better. You put on something that is happy, it elevates. You'll go through this feeling of you want to crush it to death. You might not want to listen to it, but it's all part of our self-care. Listening is one of our senses, right? Listening to something beautiful, listening to poetry, listening to whatever it is, the birds, is food for your soul. It's food for your energy fields, your inner space. Hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, touching, right? All of those elevate us up. You know, you really want, you know, an ice cream, and then you put that first, you know, you lick the thing for the first time and you're like, wow, you feel excited, right? Like, wow, this is so good. But you don't need to eat the whole thing. Like,
Can't music?
Yeah, you do.
And
Make sure some M&Ms are in there too.
one at a time, Kenny, one at a time.
Sorry.
But with your, you know, your analogies of like self-care and also like the painting, like, isn't it, or would it be like almost good for you to like sort of entertain so many different palettes? Like if you're in like a negative place, maybe you know, listen to that sad song for a certain time is all right, and then you just got to pull yourself out and be like, okay, it's run its course. Now it's time to, you know, put on that happy song and, you know, get out of there.
yeah, because I think that music expresses for us in ways we don't express for ourselves. You know, I have a goodbye song for every breakup I've had. You
All
know,
right.
it takes me a while to find it,
Yeah.
but then I find it, and
Yeah.
then I play it and I sing it, and while I'm singing it, I let the emotions purge out. You know, I'll sing for a whole day. I'll sing the song and until I'm empty.
Yeah.
And then none of it's like, I'm digging a hole and gonna bury you in it. Dun, 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 dun. It's not like that. It's more of just an expression of what it wasn't.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
of what it wasn't. So I use music that way to let go and empty me out and I use poetry that way too, which is just music, the song without music, right?
Right.
But I find something that expresses what I'm carrying around inside of me, and then I let it come out through the song and then I'm empty, and then I'm done, and then I can listen to the song and have no expression about it either. Like it's just kind of like a faucet.
Mhm.
So yes, it is good. Like, but we choose. We're choosing to do that for with a purpose in mind. You know, if somebody's really depressed and they sit down and they're listening to depressing music, that I don't think that's working the same way.
Right.
They're not maybe necessarily choosing so that they can elevate.
Right.
That's when you need to phone a friend. You know, and have someone help you, give you a hand and pull you up. But we gain tools all along the way in our life to lift ourselves up. We should have an enormous toolbox by now. We're all of us past 20. All along the way we gain tools, and we cycle through them when we have need. To elevate ourselves, or to maybe elevate someone else, or to move through something, or move around something. So or like some people like to dance to music, and that's a great form of expression because the body's moving with the music, right? And we're opening up and ringing out maybe whatever's inside. And it works for joy too. Like sometimes I'm so full and happy, I gotta sing, right? I gotta sing, or I gotta dance, or by myself. But music works for every emotion. Every emotion. Pandora sent me this a happy soundtrack for Audrey. Here's the soundtrack for you. And a while ago, like maybe a month ago, and I never listened to it. Yesterday, I put it on, and it was all bedroom music. It was like Barry White. It was Luther Vandross. Like, it was all of these love songs, and then this jazz was like boom, boom, and I'm like, why did they send this to me? but that has a, you know, you immediately you're like, wow, this is, you know, you feel the rhythm and the tone, and let's get it on, you know. That's going somewhere, right? Like, you know,
Yeah.
they sang that with the intent of going somewhere with it, right? So and music is good for that. It's good for that. Good for that. Like a glass of wine. Relax. So music speaks all the languages. It's just finding the right music. Or the right, you know, symphony, or the right drum beat. Maybe it's just a drum beat, right? And our meditative soul really opens to certain rhythms of music and the swing and change of music. We find ourselves being lifted up and carried away from where we are with a lot of meditative music, right? And there's a reason for that. And there's a reason that those tones and vibrations and those lifts and are all in there. It's to help us elevate, right? Help us elevate and open so that we see things how they really are. When we start to see things how they really are, we have clarity. And our perception, you know, one little tick in our perception to the left or the right changes our entire world, changes everything. So it's looking, you know, for the, you know, for the opportunity to see differently through hearing, you know, seeing, smelling, tasting, touching, whatever. It's an opportunity to present something different to our inner self so that we can open. We can see ourselves in a new light and see ourselves in divine light. Just another way of doing it. So, you know, we all find our own technique, special way to connect with ourselves. So write down your 5 favorite songs of all time, and see if there's a theme, or your favorite 20, you know, or write down in 10-year blocks what your favorite songs were, and see if it matches with the theme for your life. Your 10 favorite songs today, what does it say about you? You know, what are you feeling when you're listening? It's a conversation. It's a conversation.
Might I add, I can't believe nobody caught that tune from the Warner Brothers cartoons from back in the day when the owl sang, "I love to sing her about the moon and the June and the spring. I love to sing her." Nobody remember that?
No,
Nobody watched cartoons as a kid?
I didn't.
Oh man.
I think everybody else did.
It's a classic Tex Avery cartoon right here.
Nasha, we went over this. I had Mighty Mouse. I had, you know, that's about it. The Electric Company. Mighty
Well,
Mouse.
yeah,
Go ahead.
well, Tex Avery is from 36, so I thought that everybody would have saw that.
From Mighty Mouse to Morgan Freeman on the Electric Company. That was it.
I like the Electric Company.
So Tom says he likes to start his day with something positive that rocks. And music is the canvas of his life. Which is true.
Nice.
It is true, right? It's the picture of who we are.
It'd kind of be nice if we all put like a little playlist together for each other.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Learn
I-
each other's theme.
Yeah, like I do this with my students every year. It's like I make them like a playlist and I just put up, and then they have to make me a playlist, and it's just like, and then we all share it. And just, you know, you put on your Pandora, your Spotify, and then everyone's got, you know, that community feel even when we leave.
Or just one song from everybody. That's important to you right now.
Uh,
If you don't want to do a song list.
well, I'm like, gotta get down to one song. That's pressure. I'm gonna have to meditate for like 6 years to get down to one song.
That would be fun if you guys want to do that. Like that would be fun. But it has to be honest. Don't try to make a list that you think other people will think is cool. Yeah, that's
I think it's easier to get naked than share my music playlist.
which is just another form of getting naked with your clothes on.
We can put half like the ones we truly love, or half of our guilty pleasures.
Yeah. Excuse me. All right. So let's do some meditation.
Okay.
And relax. Relax. Listen to the music inside of us. So close your eyes. Close your eyes if it's possible to do that. If you're hanging wallpaper, just look inside. Look inside. Find your breath and connect with your heart. And begin to breathe in and out of your heart space. Connect with the emotion of love. And feel love in your heart. With every breath, the love fills you up. And it's all around you. The love is in you, filling you. It's all around you, supporting you, lifting you. Let your inhale and exhale soften you. Feel the love that's in you and all around you. Connect with the emotion of joy. Let the emotion of joy rise up in you. Feel the joy that's in you, the joy for life. Feel joy for laughter. Think of something that makes you happy, that brings you happiness, the feeling of happiness. Feel the happiness bubbling up inside you. Think of what makes you happy and feel happy. Connect the happiness to the joy. Filling you up, lifting you. Feel the emotion of love, love for life. Feel love for your beautiful life, all the possibilities. Feel the love fill you up. Let it blend together with the joy and the happiness. Let it expand inside of you. Happiness, joy, joy for life, love, love for life, all together inside of you. Connect with the emotion of gratitude. Allow the gratitude to blend with the joy, joy for life, love for life, happiness, gratitude. Gratitude for the essence of you, for your divine, perfect self expression. Gratitude. You can never feel it too much. Gratitude for all that you are, all that you're becoming. Let the light fill you up. Allow it to enter every aspect of you. Beautiful light, love, joy, gratitude. Light, illumination. In the light, there's music. Everything is vibration and tone. All energy has a voice. Allow the light to move in you. Make room for it. Room for more of it with the intention of expansion. There's always room. Have the intention of seeing through this light into your life and the world all around you. You are love and light everywhere you go. For yourself and others, we bring love and light to this world by becoming more of it. Move in the power of the light within you. Open to it. It's only goodness for you and others. Feel gratitude for your divine life. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Inhale. Reconnect with your body. Notice how you feel. Notice what's changed inside. When you're ready, open your eyes. Remember, life is all about transformation. We're continually transforming. We're continually evolving. We're continually recreating ourselves, moment by moment, day by day. We're bringing love and light through our lives to the lives around us by how we are being, because we are love and light. We are love and light. So unmute for a moment, please. I have a question.